talks too loud. Not in my castle on a cloud. There is a lady all in white, holds me and sings a lullaby. She's nice to see and she's soft to touch. She says, Cosette, I love you very much. I know a place where no one's lost. I know a place where no one cries. Crying at all is not allowed. Not in my castle on a cloud.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. As always, my name is Larry, and I'm your host for the evening. This is the Past Present Paranormal Radio program. We are pleased to have you here. Tonight we're going to do something a little bit different, where I'm going to kind of intermix two of our themes. Most of the time we stick with the paranormal, or I go with music. Tonight I'm going to continue with the music, and I'm going to add the paranormal in. So what you're going to be hearing is something a little bit different than what you're used to hearing, but to me, fun, no less. What I wanted to talk about tonight is basically psychics and their roles in paranormal investigating. How do we use them? Do we use them? Like I tell my medium, I look at her more, and this isn't me trying to be mean, but what she does for us, I look at her like a very intelligent piece of equipment. I can also share with you that she is spot on a majority of the time. And she goes to all of our locations cold, blind, whatever you want to call it. She has no idea, except for we're going someplace. And the things she comes up with are simply amazing. And this year she came over to my Christmas party, and one of my friends happened to leave before that, and her husband stayed by at the house while we continued to have a nice evening. Without skipping a beat, she walks right over to my friend and says, "Oh my gosh, your wife's back. It's very bad, and it will require more surgeries." This is the first time this young lady has ever met those individuals. And bear in mind, she never saw the female that actually has the medical conditions. My friend's face was picture perfect in the surprised look. You know, go for a Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo surprise type things. And he goes, "Man, I don't believe in those people. How do they do it? There's no way she would have known that." And he was 100% right. And so is she. Once again, welcome. We're going to hit up Les Miserables Part 2. Enjoy this song, and we'll talk more when you get back.
Welcome, monsieur, sit yourself down and meet the best innkeeper in town. As for the rest, all of them crooks, rooking the guests and crooking the books. Seldom do you see honest men like me, a gent of good intent, who's content to be Master of the house, doling out the tom, ready with a handshake and an open palm. Tells a saucy tale, makes a little stir. Customers appreciate a bon vivant. Glad to do me friends a favour. Doesn't cost me to be nice, but nothing gets you nothing. Everything has got a little price. Master of the house, keeper of the zoo, ready to relieve a mob of Sue or two. Water in the wine, making up the weight, picking up their knickknacks when they can't see straight. Everybody loves a landlord, everybody's bosom friend. I do whatever pleases Jesus, damn I'll bleed him in the end. Master of the house, quick to catch your eye, never once a passerby to passing by. Servant to the poor, butler to the great, comforter, philosopher, and lifelong mate. Everybody's boon companion, everybody's chaperone. But look up your valises, Jesus won't I'll skin you to the bone. Enter, monsieur, lie down your load, unlace your boots and rest from the road. This way's a ton, travel's a curse, but here we strive to lighten your purse. Here the goose is cooked, here the fat is fried, and nothing's overlooked till I'm satisfied. Food beyond compare, food beyond belief. Mix it in a mincer and pretend it's beef. Kidney of a horse, liver of a cat, filling up the sausages with this and that. Residents are more than welcome, bridal suite is occupied. Reasonable charges plus some little extras on the side. Charging for the lice, extra for the mice, 2% for looking in the mirror twice. Here a little slice, there a little cut, 3% for sleeping with a window shut. When it comes to fixing prices, there are lots of tricks he knows, and it all increases, all in bits and pieces. Jesus, it's amazing how it grows. Master of the house, quick to catch your eye, never once a passerby to passing by. Servant to the poor, butler to the great, comforter, philosopher, and lifelong mate. Everybody's boon companion, isn't everything he's got. Dirty bunch of geezers, Jesus, what a sorry little lot.
I used to dream that I would meet a prince, but God Almighty ever seen what's happened since. Master of the house isn't worth me spit, comforter, philosopher, and lifelong shit. Cunning little brain, regular Voltaire, thinks he's quite a lover, but there's not much there. What a cruel trick of nature, landing me with such a louse. God knows how I've lost it, living with his bastard in the house.
Master of the house,
Master in the hall,
comforter, philosopher,
baby love,
servant to the poor, butler to the great.
hypocrite and toady and an inebriate.
Everybody bless the landlord, everybody bless his spouse. Everybody raise a glass,
Raise it up the master's ass.
everybody raise a glass to the master of the house.
And welcome back. That is Master of the House from Les Miserables, the original cast recording. And it's an amazing role to watch if you haven't seen it or listened to it. But they're basically con artists that are running a bar, saloon, and a hotel. And for 10 francs a month, they've been taking care of Fantine's child, Cosette. And they'll eventually, when it comes out to it, they'll give up Cosette to Jean Valjean, which was his promise to a dying Fantine. It's a little bit of comic relief right in the middle of what is a very emotionally thick plot. The denouement, the everything about it, the way it sets up, it's thick, it's heavy. There's hatred, anger, love, pride, patriotism, all of these different feelings and what I would call personality traits are so strong and they're portrayed throughout the entire musical. When you have something that's that deep, you put something like this in the middle, and what it allows is a little breath of fresh air, a time to relax and enjoy the music before really taking in everything about the show. So, great work there. I believe they are the Turnadiers, and I can't speak French worth a lick, but it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic nonetheless. Get back to psychics here. I have a friend of mine. Uh, his name is Terry Mitchell. I've spoken about him before in several of the shows. Terry and I are good friends, and he has a special ability of being what they call a claircognizant, and he does do it for a living. And if you want to support him, and I would appreciate it if you did, it's a website that you can go to and you can find him at tinyurl.com/Sin City Psychic. Or you can go to his new site, which is psychic.bitwin as in Nancy e.com/227661-IRISHDIZ as in zebra E. And that's another place you can go locate him at. He's quite affordable, and their rates for readings are, I mean, some of the lowest I've seen out of anyone. And knowing Terry and knowing his successful track record, and going to the sites myself, I can tell you that since he's been on there in a week, he's done, I believe, just over 30 readings, and every one of the people that has been read have come back with 100% positive reviews. There's not a negative word said. And for that's a big deal in a psychic world. The other thing we do have with Terry is Terry's been doing this for a while, and now he really wants to take it to the top. It's a group that he formed called the Wish List. And what the Wish List is it's a donation type thing. And what he's asking for is donations, and what he does with those donations is he finds people out there who are in need, whether it be a church that says one of my members had this happen, a random person on the street he meets, he wants to help them. And that's what he's doing, and it's a great cause, and if you guys want to do it, it would be fantastic. You can go to the Wish List on Facebook. It's the Wish List, and look up everything you need. Otherwise, you can go to the website, which is T Mitchell, 2 L's, TMITCHELL 71.wix.com/the, and then there's a dash wish dash list, and then I'll show you everything he's doing and who he's helping. whether it's food, clothing, appliances, furnishings. It's a great thing he's doing. And if you can't remember all those internet website things and whatnot, just give him a call. It's area code 702-252-3633. And I do appreciate each and every one of you who takes the time out to help out someone that is a friend of mine. And I do appreciate that greatly. But I did want to talk about psychics today and give you kind of how I feel, and maybe, through either the Past Present Paranormal website or our Facebook page, I'd like to get feedback from you on what you feel. We have a young lady, her name is Lenora, and she is now safe and feels comfortable being called a medium. She's never felt comfortable being called that. She thinks there's stigmas attached to it, and people think you're a loon, or there's something wrong with you somewhere, somehow. What she doesn't understand, as paranormal investigators, I would absolutely kill to have a gift to be able to see to the other side. I do believe that there are frauds out there, frauds who are very good at talking and talking fast and making it very difficult for people to truly trust them. And those folks actually feed off of the client themselves. They'll take that information and they'll just create a story around the information that they receive through their cold questioning. They'll build a story about that and say this, that, and the other thing. Most of the time they won't be accurate. And what I have found working with Lenora is I do research on just about every place we investigate. And my lead investigator, Michelle, she does the research as well. Michelle and I, we make sure to compare notes and say, what are you getting? This is what I found. And we put it together. But as a general rule, if you don't look for it for yourself, I'm not going to tell you, and I will never tell my medium. She doesn't want to know. She wants to be 100% in the dark. And what she does, her way of validating is, and she knows who it is that is the person who did the research. She'll come up to us and say, hey, I just got, and I'm just going to give examples. This used to be a brothel, and a lady was murdered here by a man. And I will go through my research, and then I can confirm with her what she's feeling is correct. Other times she'll come to me. We were in Placerville, California, and she came to me and said, I see a pathway. It's like a tunnel almost, but I don't see it. And the rich people would run in the tunnel. So, I was asking later on in the investigation, I asked the person running the hotel, was there ever a path or a tunnel or whatever around here? And he goes, yes. He goes, if you look here, and he showed me a stained glass window. That stained glass window actually hid the escape tunnel. There were considerable large dollar, for the time, card games played with ladies of the night, and if a wife or the law ever showed up, they used that as a quick escape. And where she got those feelings was where the underground tunnel was, where it led. So she was spot on with it. She sees pictures and numbers, and that's what while others feel the pain, So everyone sees things differently. We enjoy having her as part of our group, A, because she's just one of the most kind and loving people I've ever met. But she's still learning her gift. For so long, she didn't want to be called that. She tried every way in the world to get rid of it, while I, on the other hand, try to develop it. We'll talk a little bit about the theories behind why we can communicate with the dead after this short message.
Welcome to the Past Present Paranormal Radio Show on Spreaker.com.
What to do, what to say? Shall you carry our treasure away? What a gem, what a pearl, beyond rubies is our little girl. How can we speak of debt? Let's not haggle for darling Cosette. Dear Fontaine, gone to rest, have we done for your child what is best? Shared our bread, shared each bone, treated her like she's one of our own, like our own, monsieur.
Your feelings do you credit, sir, and I will ease the parting blow. Let us not talk of bargains or bones or greed. Now may I say, we are agreed.
That would quite fit the bill if she hadn't so often been ill. Little dear, cost us dear. Medicines are expensive, Miss Year. Not that we begrudge the sue. It's no more than we Christians must do. One thing more, one small doubt. There are treacherous people about. No offense, please reflect. Your intentions may not be correct.
No more words, here's your price. 1,500 for your sacrifice. Come, Cosette, say goodbye. Let us seek out a friendlier sky. Thank you both for Cosette. It won't take you too long to forget.
And welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us throughout the commercial. Trying to generate a little bit of money for the show. I think we're up to 4 cents now, so keep up the good work. So we were talking about psychics and different things, and I consider myself a spiritual person, and for a while my belief system was really shaken to the core, and I lost touch with religion per se. Not with spirituality and faith in a higher power. So, in that happening, I went through and read several books, and there was one by world-famous psychic John Edward, and several by Sylvia Browne. Now, these views are not the views of Sylvia or John or my group, but since I pay for the radio show, it's my view, and deal with it. If you hate it, you hate it. But I don't believe this is our first rodeo here on Earth. I don't think we were reincarnated. I don't think we come back as an animal, or based upon what we do here on this Earth, we, become a snake if you're bad, or a cow if you're good. What I feel, though, is that our time on Earth is to train our souls to be more perfect in heaven. That's my personal belief. It's, once again, all me. I also believe, but when we leave heaven to become no longer just a spirit, but a body, with a spirit, we know everything that's going to happen in our lives because we chose it before we came here. A wise lady that I used to work with, her name was Miss Doris, a fantastic lady, told me one day, and it was mesmerizing to me, that my kids had done good. And I said, my kids, in what? In picking you as a dad. And I found that very odd. I mean, who picks, it's lucky sperm, lucky egg, whatever the case may be. And the more and more I read, the more and more it became evident to me. Sylvia Browne had a lot of the same thought processes that I did. It's not my first time here. We know what's going on in our lives. Before we get here, the trauma of being born makes us forget most of our stuff. But everyone has that sense of deja vu every once in a while. And what that is, in once again, my opinion, I feel it's just your way. It's something you remembered. And it's just telling you you're on the right path. It's not psychic. It's something that I think we all know. But Sylvia got into, heaven and how it is and time. It's an eternity, and our time on our Earth is so fast that it's nothing. It's a blink of an eye. If you think about it, in eternity, this is nothing. So, Sylvia's books are all great. She also talks about the type of personalities that we have here, and why we choose them, and how those personalities we chose before we left heaven to come down to earth form who we are today and what we do. A nurturing soul could be a teacher, a nurse, doctor, someone in that kind of profession that nurtures and heals. So, that's a fantastic thing to look at. John Edward, on the other hand, talked about the time he was he woke up one night and he could see himself sleeping, but he was able to move around. I believe they call it astral projection or astral planing. And then he could do this and do other things. He could see things that no one else saw. And it struck him as odd, that he could do it as a child. He could do it. And he said he sees symbols, and these symbols, through the way he's done it, these symbols actually match up to words. And the words are what he says. So roses could be mean to him. I think he said they meant marriage or love, which we all know it's symbolism at its finest form. So is that legitimate? Is that something we can say, yeah, this is what we're going with? Now, John Edward had his grandmother who was a sensitive as well, and she took him under her wing and tried to advance his gift, while Sylvia was introduced by family as well to someone called her spirit guide, someone she could talk to, and they would lead her where she needed to go to progress as a psychic medium, or B, someone who just what color to wear that day, but whatever was important at that time was always brought up. So I think that's a great thing as well. Basically, I wanted to bring this up today because more and more I see people that want to bring psychics on board into their groups. And are there pros and cons, or just pros or just cons, to having someone with that special ability? I lean towards there are many pros to it, with a simple con. And the simple con is this: we're in a fledgling scientific field, and it continues to this day that if I show someone evidence that you cannot dispute, it's been debunked, we've done everything we can to say, nope, it's not a ghost, it's not a spirit, it's not what I caught. We've gone through those processes, yet we have no way to explain what it is. And to you and I, and those who are in the field, we would sit there and go, okay, it's paranormal. We are in a field that's so young that even though I have that, it's still not trusted evidence. No matter how big my sample size is, no matter what checks and balances I have in place in any kind of a control group, we're not going to win. So then we bring in a psychic into our paranormal lives, and they have nothing concrete at all. They have their words. Bearing in mind that there are unscrupulous people everywhere. There's people that fudge evidence and call things EVPs that shouldn't be called EVPs, and spirits that are nothing, and orbs that are lens flares, and they're just not to be trusted. But there are good psychics out there, in my opinion. Having a psychic on my team, I feel, lends credence to what we do and what we discover. So if I do a history and I come up with, let's go with the lady of the night that was murdered by the man again, that same example. Okay, so that they picked up on that. Now I can kind of tailor my questioning to a young lady or a man, both of which could still be at the location. We can see what kind of responses we get with that. And if we do, that not only validates our evidence, but it also validates the psychic and their ability. But we have to do things the right way. We can't do a half-mookie job thinking, okay, just a little bit's going to be good enough, because it can't. Most of us are under constant scrutiny to be the best investigators out there and be the most honest and the most forthright. And the only con I could possibly think of is we chase a wrong lead based on something a psychic picks up. I know I wouldn't want my team's medium to go anywhere. She's that good, and she's that great of a person. She requests no money from anyone, and never will, and that is sharing your gift selflessly. We'll be right back after the song.
There, out in the darkness, a fugitive running, fallen from grace, fallen from grace. God be my witness, I never shall yield till we come face to face, till we come face to face. He knows his way in the dark, but mine is the way of the Lord. Those who follow the path of the righteous shall have their reward. And if they fall as Lucifer fell, the flame, the sword, stars in your multitude, scarce to be counted, filling the darkness with order and light. You are the sentinels, silent and sure, keeping watch in the night, keeping watch in the night. You know your place in the skies, you hold your course and your aim. Each in your season returns and returns, and is always the same. And if you fall as Lucifer fell, you fall in flame. And so it has been, and so it's written on the doorways to paradise, that those who falter and those who fall must pay the price. Scarce to be counted, changing the chaos to order and light. You are the sentinels, silent and sure, keeping watch in the night, keeping watch in the night.
To look at, nothing posh, nothing that you call up to scratch. This is for school, my high society, from Saturday to San Michel. We live on crumbs of humble piety, tough on the teeth, but what the hell? If you're poor, if you're free, follow me, follow me!
Look down and show some mercy if you can. Look down upon your fellow man. one man, and that's Lamarck. Speak for the people here below.
Lamarck is ill and fading fast. Won't last a week out, so to say. With all the anger in the land, how long before the judgment day? Before we cut the fat ones down to size? Before the barricades arise.
It is said by many a psychic that anyone and everyone has the ability to communicate with spirits that have crossed over. I ask how, to be honest, because I can't. At least I don't think I can. It is a widely held belief that the spirit world is very close to the world we live on now, except they exist in a separate frequency, which is why many times we collect voices on a recorder, but we don't hear anything. So, is it that some humans are just more in tune to those different frequencies? It very well may be. A lot of people say that if you meditate and really clear your mind, you can feel those energies around you, much the same way we feel spirits that can walk near us. So do we sit there and just continue to try to do that? The closest thing I've ever had to a psychic moment, if you will, was at the Goldfield High School. And while we were there, I was just standing, doing nothing, and videotaping my group as they were doing their investigation. And I didn't want to intervene, but I did, and I simply said, "Hey, I'm picking up this name." And one of the docents that was there said, "Holy cow." And I said, "What's that?" And that name, and I'm telling you, the way the name came to me was just, it popped into my head, and all I felt like doing was blurting it out. And the name was Edward, and I guess Edward was a student there who had committed suicide. It's not anything I did or worked on or knew about or anything like that. To me, it was an amazing feeling to have that. So, I guess the technique would be to tune yourself to hear those frequencies, to feel those frequencies, to see those frequencies. Or maybe it's just some people have a gift to do it, while others may not. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you tuning in this evening. This is the Past Present Paranormal Radio program hosted by Larry Lutz. All of our members, our listeners, and all of our listeners are our friends, and we do appreciate that. If you have any suggestions for upcoming shows, don't hesitate to call us at 702-845-6650. If you needed an investigation, we are more than happy to do that. As always, we are free of charge. And you can call the number I just mentioned, area code 702-845-6650, or you can call 702-724-1775. And that'll be for Claudia, our founder, and her and I can certainly set up a group for you. If you need to email me, it's at lvref702@gmail.com. Reach us online at www.pastpresentparanormal.com, or check out our Facebook page. Do whatever you have to do, become a fan, and you can be up to date on everything we do. With every passing week, Claudia puts up more and more evidence. Some of the most amazing evidence I've seen ever, to be honest with you. And it was a recent Las Vegas location, and the evidence was amazing of the shadow, and many of the EVPs we received that night are the same type of things that the homeowner had claimed. So we're very excited to get out there and investigate. Lots of stuff in the works for us this year, and as soon as we lock all our locations down, we'll let you know, and we'll keep you informed. And hopefully this year I can get out a live show on site. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to speak to you when I do get the chance. I'll try to be more regular with the program and keep bringing you stuff that you need to talk about between your paranormal friends, between paranormal groups. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy your week, and we look forward to talking to you again. God bless. Have a good night.
Give an interesting old lady a manicure, but I'll be back before you're done. So folks, call Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny, and Porky Pig, paranormalists at large. Spooks spooked, goblins gobbled, UFOs KO'd, aliens alienated, vampires evaporated, and monsters remonstrated. Just call 555-5925. Remember, that's the same as dialing 555-KAWACK.